In this video, I'm going to break down all of the John Pork lore and attempt to craft a timeline for all of these events. Now, before we get started, there are a few crucial notes we must make. First and foremost, the John Pork case is a developing one, meaning there's still information being unveiled. There have also been many attempts to try to sneak into the lore, but in this video, we're just going to focus on the main key figures of the storyline. Please let me know if I missed anything in the comments down below. Now, without further ado, let's get into the lore. Our story starts off in 1992. The Cold War had just ended and the age of digital technology was upon us. But in the midst of all of that, perhaps the most influential event that happened that year was the birth of a baby boy, John Pork. John lived a happy life, lifting everyone's spirits around him due to his enthusiastic nature. However, it would all come crumbling down one night. John walked down a dark alleyway with his best friend Pengu when suddenly he was shot by none other than the infamous Tim Cheese, and Pengu was there to witness it. John Pork's death shook the world, and it undoubtedly would be the start of a very long battle. Shortly after John's death, when Pengu was mourning the loss of his friend, Tim Cheese had his eyes set on his next victim. However, what Tim didn't account for was the fact that John had a few more connections than it seemed. Marvin Beek, the greatest hitman in the world, took Pengu's side. He vowed to get revenge for John, as he considered him family. Turning back the clock a little, it's revealed that Pengu wasn't the only one present at John's death scene. It was witnessed by former Congressman and Lieutenant Colonel Black Ops, Agent 5.5. Back to the present, where we find out that Tim is compiling a list of his next victims. He learns about Agent 5.5, who just so happens to be on that list alongside Marvin Beek. He publicly calls out the two of them, in other words, a declaration of war. So let's recap. Tim Cheese kills John Pork. Pengu and Agent 5.5 are the witnesses. Marvin Beek's status is unknown, but we can infer he found out about John Pork due to the media coverage, which is what motivated him to take revenge on Tim Cheese. As Tim reflects on everything that's happened, a new side of the story is revealed. Tim had a beautiful wife who he thought was loyal until he walked in on her cheating with John Pork. Through this revelation, we were able to identify the motivation behind Tim Cheese and why he killed John Pork in the first place. It's a complex story with no right or wrong. Agent 5.5 is captured, but something shocking happens. Tim gets a call from a familiar voice, and it turns out that John Pork is alive. I'm like, hey, what's up? That's right, John Pork is alive, and he even saves Agent 5.5. Marvin Beek, Agent 5.5, and John Pork will soon unite on the battlefield. And that is all the lore we have. Will John be victorious, or will he really fall to Tim this time? Will Pengu return? These are all questions that will be answered in time. Now, there is additional lore like Simon Claw, but I'm not sure if it's totally canon. It's kind of arguable, so I decided to leave it out since this is just focusing on the main storyline. Anyways, let us see how the John Pork lore will wrap up.